All right, thank you, Brad. It is great to be here again. Shout out to all of you here in Las Vegas, everyone on the live stream watching, and the hundreds of people backstage who have done heroic work making this event happen. So thank you, all of them. So what kind of Google things do we have in store today, Stephanie?
Yeah, well, we have heard from so many devs that they want to see the best ways Google Cloud can help them build great software. So that's what we're going to showcase today. From getting started to scaling, and ultimately a sneak peek at the future with some of our newest creations.
Awesome. This whole thing is a bunch of demos, so we're going to get started on this. So set us up, Steph. What are we about to see first?
Well, we are going to show developers how they can build things, including agents, with Google Cloud and Gemini. It starts with the models. In fact, Gemini still offers developers one of the longest context windows and bidirectional multimodal capabilities. And you can all try out our latest models, including Gemini 2.5 Pro in AI Studio. So let's see this in action.
All right, to kick things off, I would like to welcome to the demo desk Paige Bailey and Logan Kilpatrick.
Hey everyone, in the next few minutes, we're going to showcase how you can build AI-enabled applications with Gemini. So where does building with AI start today? Well, for Paige and I, it often starts with a simple question. Can the model actually help solve this problem that we have in our head?
Yep, and that's exactly where Google AI Studio comes in. It's a place where you can rapidly prototype anything. But Logan, do you want to tell us what's new before we dive in, like that UI refresh from yesterday?
Yeah, I think the question is always what's not new in AI Studio. So we just shipped a brand new UI, which has been awesome. We have all the latest Gemini experimental models. We have Google Search as a tool, which works agentically, and even new model capabilities like native image editing and generation, which we'll see in a second. But Paige, I think you had an idea for an AI app that you potentially wanted to try and see if we could build.
Absolutely. Today we're going to be multitasking. I have been wanting to remodel my kitchen for the longest time, and I bet Gemini can help.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm an engineer, not a general contractor, and I don't even know where to start. You know, there's all sorts of things from regulations and fixtures, electrician work. You know, I really feel like AI could help here.
Yeah, I think I can. So let's use Gemini to break this problem down. We'll have Gemini sort of generate a super detailed starter prompt for us. We'll have it put together a renovation plan. And last, we'll see if we can use Gemini to actually visualize what that remodel might look like.
Awesome. 3 steps. Let's head over to Google AI Studio and get started. Awesome. So you can see here a very, very detailed prompt that Gemini has created only from the short description that I've given the model. You can see it's including everything from my current kitchen dimensions to things like budget, project scope, countertops, cabinetry, all sorts of details that I would have never even considered that can help us get started with this renovation project. You can also see models here off to the right, and when you hover over them, you can get additional insights into things like latency, what the model might be really great at, and also really nice details like costs.
Awesome. Paige, so let's take this prompt that Gemini actually generated for us. We'll copy it. We'll jump over into another tab, which has a bunch of pictures of your kitchen, a picture of the floor plan, a bunch of other unstructured data, and we'll send that prompt off to Gemini and have it sort of kickstart this renovation for us.
Awesome. So I'm running that now. A bunch of things are happening behind the scenes. This is a thinking model, which means that we get 65,000 tokens of output, which are great for long-form analyses and detailed docs. We've got our super long prompt that's giving a lot of really nice insights. And then also this mysterious thinking box. So Logan, break down what's happening behind the scenes as Gemini is doing all this work.
Yeah, so we're using a reasoning model, which means that before the model actually gives us this final renovation plan, it's trying to think about all the different things that we might need to take into account. And as you mentioned before, Paige, you and I have never done a kitchen renovation before, so this is a great example of why reasoning is so powerful, and it'll hopefully come up with a bunch of stuff that you or I never would have been able to.
Awesome. So in this thinking section, we're seeing an information gathering strategy. It's pulling in things like Seattle costs and local regulations. It's giving me pros and cons about those specific materials, assumptions about the layout just based on this floor plan that we sketched out. Yeah. And this is still just the thinking box. We haven't even gotten to the main model output yet. This is amazing. So if we keep scrolling, we can start seeing the major output. But you know, Logan, oh wow, it's even done a little sketch of the kitchen. This is amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So you know, budget is everything. So how can I make sure that this renovation project would actually fit in my budget?
Yeah, great question. So we're using grounding with Google search, which means for all the information which the model might not have recently trained on, like things like up-to-date material costs, even like local regulations and codes, which can always be changing, the model can pull that information in and actually make this not only like a theoretical renovation plan, a super practical one that's grounded in reality.
Amazing. And it looks like Gemini is still cooking. You know, I would really love to be able to visualize some of these things that it's describing. And you mentioned that Gemini might be able to help with that too, right?
Yeah, I don't think an AI renovation use case would be complete if we couldn't actually see what that renovation is going to look like. So let's jump over to your third tab, and we have a picture of the kitchen, and I think this was another super detailed prompt that Gemini actually generated for you.
Yes, Gemini was able to cook up a really, really nice prompt, very detailed with all of the different features that I would want to use to reimagine my kitchen.
Nice.
Yeah, and so let's hit run again, and hopefully we'll see a result in just a few seconds.
Yeah, and we're using Gemini 2.0 Flash, so hopefully this actually literally only takes a few seconds.
Amazing. So I love this. It's been able to take my layout. You can still see that door off to the left that we had off to the left in the original picture. It's given me a new stove, this beautiful pewter green backsplash, which is a new word that I learned. And also, it looks super nice and airy, but I don't see a lot of lighting. I'm going to ask for Gemini to add tube globe lights, and that's something that it should be able to do as well, right?
Yeah, this is actually a really great example in practice. If you saw that first prompt, super detailed, really verbose. For the second prompt, we can also just ask it to very explicitly change, hopefully just one thing, which is going to be these lights up in the top.
Yeah. I'm also curious to see what kinds it picks.
It's one of the fun parts of playing with this model. I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, look at that. The beautiful globes. Amazing. And this is excellent. I really am excited now to kind of bundle this up, send it over to a general contractor, and get started.
Yeah, I love this. And really, this is the power of Gemini all coming together, from understanding videos to native image generation to grounding real information with Google search. These are the kinds of things that you can only build with Gemini.
Absolutely. And it all starts in AI Studio. From here, we can take this prototype, we can go ahead and grab an API key, and we can scale this out into a full application using the power of Google Cloud and Vertex AI. So thank you so much for being my renovation buddy, Logan.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun, Paige.
Yeah, next time we're doing your kitchen.
I hope so.
Nice.
All right, that was great. I feel like that original kitchen has seen some things. I don't know.
It might have. Makes me want to still DIY my own project, though, maybe.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, I might legitimately start here with my next home improvement project. That was a pretty rad use case and not a way I would have thought of using AI myself.
Okay, so what you're saying is you're not just going to keep watching old reruns of This Old House?
I'd have to watch it the first time to see a rerun.
Well, Paige, can you tell me more about what you use Gemini's long context window for?
Absolutely. So long context windows are a game changer when you really know how to use them. In this example, we saw, some things like photos and images and, a few different sketches. But with long context, you're able to pull in full videos or even full code bases to use in your projects. And I use it a lot, especially when kind of pulling things in to be able to generate really, really detailed code generation in my favorite IDEs.
That's great. Yeah, you showed how easy it is to get started, which I love. But at the same time, the more you learn about the features, the better the whole experience gets as the team keeps building some great things here. I'm really excited about some of the things you unlock with native image generation. Tell me more there.
You can change floor plans, you can change different spaces. I loved it for my condo renovation, but it really gets magical when you can imagine all of the different kinds of projects that you can pull in. I especially loved that we were able to pull in search as a tool and search grounding. And when you're able to add all of these agents into your projects, they're great for automating these multi-step processes.
Yeah, it's amazing. I do love that multimodal reasoning. That long context is such a big deal. But Steph, I am more of a software engineer than a construction engineer, and I'm kind of psyched about the coding in Gemini 2.5 Pro amazing at coding.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all kind of happy that you're not a construction engineer. I don't know if we'd be standing
The
here
world
right
is
now.
a safer place.
Yeah. Well, we're seeing so many developers swarm to this model because of the quality of the coding responses. So Logan, I gotta ask, how did this happen?
Yeah, it's a great question. I know we didn't show it in this demo, and all four of us, though, have been spending a bunch of our time playing around with the new coding capabilities. I think it's honestly a story of all these unique Gemini functionalities coming together. It's long context, it's natively multimodal, it's bringing in native search. I think you can do a bunch of stuff for code use cases that weren't possible, plus innovation in pre-training, post-training, reasoning, so much stuff.
Well, thank you so much, Logan and Paige.
Thank you.
Great.
Yeah.